Good to go.
Yeah, look at that. All right, it's 6 o'clock. It is January 19th. This is the regular session of the Somerset School Board meeting. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alicia, can you do roll call, please?
Yes. Steve Bigelow.
Here.
Corey Miller.
Here.
Ian McDonald.
Here.
Lori Blargen. Here. Bruce Blargen. Danny Erickson. Here. Matt Fugald.
Here. District mission, core values, protocol reminders are all listed on the agenda. Take a minute to review those. And then I'll just make a quick note as we look at the agenda under item number 6, items for approval, you'll see C, open enrollment, has the district calendar, as well as D. It's doubled up, they're the exact same, just so we're all on the same page. And then when someone is ready, I'll take a motion to approve the agenda.
So
A motion by Lori, is there a second? Second by Steve. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. And I'll just make a quick note, Bruce Blargen did reach out, he said he'd be a minute or two late, so we'll just know when he arrives for the meeting. Item number 2 is public comment. I didn't receive any requests, Dr. Granville.
I did not.
There's nobody in the audience, unless Officer Kerber wants to give public comment. No? Very well, moving on to item number 3, the Spartan Spotlight.
All right, so this is a little bit different for Spartan Spotlight today. You'll notice there's no report there. Reason being, the person being honored didn't know that she was being honored. So, Mrs. Alicia Page, we're here to honor you today.
you
I knew she wouldn't let me if I told her in
did not
advance.
tell me that that's what it was going
No,
to be about.
she had no idea. But this is probably the last board meeting we'll have for her in a while, and I thought it was appropriate to honor her. She is amazing, as you all know. There's so many things that she does in this district that make the district work, and people don't know how much she does. Like it's amazing. She has a 100-page plus document that sort of maps out her responsibilities that we'll be sharing with Monica as to help out with all those responsibilities, but it just speaks to how much she does. But beyond the fact that she works really hard, she's an amazing ambassador for the district. People that interact, and in her position, she's sort of the face of the district. Anyone that comes in the district office, they're gonna meet with Alicia, and they will always have a great experience. She's amazingly positive and responsive to the needs. So we have, obviously with the board election coming up, we've got a couple new people that will be running for the board. And that's an important thing, that's a big deal. And again, the support that she offers for them, top notch. With Ian, we had quite the adventure. We had to do some virtual notary work. Alicia's on it, figured it out, and just every step of the way, make sure that people get what they need. And I don't want to say most importantly, but most importantly to me is the fact that she takes care of me like nobody's business. She's on top of everything. So anything that I'm able to accomplish, it's because of her support, and she's just got everyone's back. And I know you all feel it too as board members. She does a lot to support all of you. So just, Alicia, we appreciate you immensely and wish you all the best.
Well, thank you very much. That was very touching and unexpected, but thank you.
If it were expected, she wouldn't allow it, so.
Correct.
And gracious.
Well, thanks, Alicia, I appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet.
All right, item number 4, School Resource Officer report.
Come on up, Officer Kerber.
Thanks for having me here tonight. This is my 3rd year in the schools, Officer Kerber. I know I've said this before, but I know and there's only a few people here, but this is not my favorite thing to do. I didn't become a police officer to public speak, so just bear with me. So the sheets that you guys have in front of you, I've had them again in years past. It's documenting basically my calls for service at all 3 schools. It also has applicable SRO trainings. I've gone to other trainings, but I added trainings that have benefited me in my role as the SRO on there. So you'll notice that I have the calls for service for this year from the 26th of August to January 16th. You'll notice that they're higher, a lot higher than the previous year at each school as well. The reason for that is in past years when I've gone to another school to walk around, I haven't documented all of those calls for service. So to give you guys a better understanding of time spent on campus, I decided to document every time as in like an extra patrol or a miscellaneous call, just so you could see the time that I spend as well as the rest of the PD spends at the schools. Additionally, our PD has been extremely short-staffed this year, which has resulted in me working 6 days in a row, have 1 day off, or 2 days, 1 day off. So I've taken time off myself. So the calls on there aren't just my calls. It's if another officer has been called to a certain school or if has pulled an extra patrol card at night checking doors. So that's why it's so much higher this year than in previous years. My typical day as the SRO usually starts parked somewhere out on campus for before school traffic. That continues to be a difficult time with so much people, the influx of traffic coming in. I've been dealing with complaints from certain schools, most recently the middle school, where people aren't yielding to the crossing guard on the straightaway or on Spartan Drive right out kind of in front of the school. A few issues with people kind of speeding out of the parking lots. At the beginning of the year, there was, I'm sure it still happens, but people would skip the line at the elementary school and kind of drive and weave through, and that was a concern for a little while. Besides that, I try to get to each school each day and walk around, say hi and interact with the kids. One thing that I think is kind of cool, I mean, at least personally, I'm not really a stickler about kids calling me Officer Kerber, so one thing I've noticed this year is kids will, I tell them my first name, kids will call me Jared or, hey, it's Officer Jared, so that's one thing that I've noticed is important to me this year, because I'm trying to show these students that I'm not just a person in a uniform. I'm not just a scary guy, that they can call me by my first name if it's okay with me, and I'm a normal person that you should and can trust. So some of the other events that I've been part of that aren't documented on there is I taught ALICE training, so that's Alert, Lockdown, Inform, Counter, Evacuate. I taught that all alone because at the time Mrs. Thorson or Miss Thorson was gone, so I taught to each individual staff at the school. I've joined in on some coloring activities. I spoke to 2nd grade classes. I'm going to be the C-team head baseball coach for the 3rd year now this year. And then my favorite thing to do is to join in a gym class. And I think that's the best way to, besides being the baseball coach, I think those 2 things are the best way to interact with kids because they see me running around. I actually broke a pair of sunglasses because I wear them like this. Just being involved and, again, showing the students that I'm not a scary guy in a uniform, but someone that is just like them. So I think that's all I got. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, I can answer those for you.
Dr. Graham, anything to add?
So, yeah, I just, one thing with Officer Kerber, he is super responsive to our needs. There've been a lot of things, all of them thankfully small, or concerns that once we looked out, they were not as big of a deal as we had feared, but he's always right there. So we have each other's cell phone number, we'll chat about issues coming up, but super responsive. So all of that stuff that he's talking about is so important, building relationships, and he does a really nice job with that. You've got to see him with the elementary kids. It's a blast because the kids really respond well. But there's so much that he does that keeps us safe, and great partnership, not just with Officer Kerber, but with the police department. They've been really, really good partners for us.
Do we have any questions, comments?
Thank you for your service to the school, appreciate it.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Do you ask his input for things like asking about the new cameras for the elementary school and strategy behind that? Is that something that you guys work together on?
So, yeah, in fact, the cameras, we're talking directly with the PD because they use the same system that we use, so we've had conversations about our camera systems for sure. And then also, I mean, one of the things that we talk about probably most frequently are student issues that come up, that cross over between school issues and legal issues. So really good to have that partnership. That's not always the case. Sometimes schools and police departments struggle with finding that line. I think we do a really good job of finding that line to make sure that we're partnered, we're walking hand in hand, but also conducting our independent investigations.
Any other comments, questions? Hey, thanks for your time and your service to the district. I know you said going on 3 years. I'm excited to see what's next, if you put in again when the refresh comes around, or if you're on to other things, but I appreciate all the time.
Yeah.
It's a big thing to get outside of the uniform and be part of the district and the kids, so thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Have a good night.
Have a good one.
All right, item number 5, reports. First up is the listening session summary. I'm assuming nobody was in attendance, but I didn't see anybody, but.
No one was here.
Okay. Superintendent update.
So yeah, I kept this one brief since we have the closed session for my evaluation later on. We've got referendum invoices, had a call today. I was actually working with Alicia and Eric from Market and Johnson called, and we're getting ready to get the last bill, so everything is tracking well. So there's a few little things in there, and then financial reports are the consistent financial reports you always see. I did want to talk about enrollment reports, so that's the last one that's linked there. As we've talked about with this format, things go up and down. If you remember when we put this in place, this was to track where did we start the year and where did we end up. Interesting changes, we've got +8 at the elementary, and with the majority kindergarten, which is really good. That's, we want to see our growth at the young age. That's going to be the most sustainable growth for us because it can work all the way through the system. But you can see where that reverses a little bit. Middle school up 2, and then high school down 7 for a net of +3. So relatively flat. We just started the process of what we call the census, where we reach out to families in the community to find out what kids they have so we can get a good idea of young families coming in and incoming JK and so forth. So we'll get that, and I can't believe we're almost at that point where we'll be talking about launching next year's enrollment. It goes so fast, but this process has worked really well. It's helped us keep an eye on it. We are going through the process right now of reaching out to families that have left for open enrollment. Now that open enrollment is open, having those conversations about the why. If you chose to leave, why did you choose to leave? So we can do some of that theme analysis and see if we can reverse that trend. That is, as I've mentioned, that is our most concerning trend in terms of enrollment, is open enrollment out. There's a lot of stuff that happens that is out of our control. Fewer kids, all that stuff, but open enrollment out we do have some control over, and that's one we need to get after. So we're gonna be kicking that process off more formally within the next couple of weeks.
How is it going at the kindergarten level with all those increases
says that was one of the grade levels we were keeping an eye on.
Yeah, yep, and it's a really good question, Lori, because they've got their hands full. They've got a lot of kids for sure. We just met actually, it's about a month ago or so, talked about what we can do to help out and offer some support. They're right on that cusp. Like we don't have, when you look at maxes and mins or the upper limit, lower limit, technically if we would have added a section now with those numbers, we could have justified an additional section, and we held off, but it's right on the fence. So they definitely have their hands full. They're a great team, but they're feeling it for sure.
So have they suggested anything that we can do to help?
So the big thing is obviously adding a section would have been the most direct, but also just getting some additional support. They're being flexible with expectations and timelines, that sort of thing. We didn't come up with anything real tangible. I think more than anything, they wanted to know what the process looks like as we're moving forward. They get that if we would have had all 9 of those right away, we might be in a different position right now, but it's tough. And we also it's not like we have a surplus of paraprofessional time where we can give more support there.
Right.
Any other questions? Anything else?
That's all I have for those.
All right, next up is item number 6. This is items for approval. Again, I mentioned at the beginning that C2 and 2.1 are a duplicate of D, so does anybody want to make a motion to approve these items listed under 6?
I'll make a motion to approve the high school course offerings update, the WASB resolutions, the open enrollment memo, and the district calendar, and the summer school dates for 2027.
A motion by Lori, is there a second? Second by Bruce, any discussion?
Are we gonna discuss those resolutions any further? There's another one that just came in.
Yeah, so, yeah, I think it was a bylaw amendment that came in, not another resolution, so a little bit different. I mean, it'll be handled at the same time. I didn't receive any questions or feedback between the last meeting and now, so really nothing more than those bylaws.
Yeah, if anybody would like to discuss anything in those resolutions, absolutely now's the time. But yeah, I didn't receive any questions and he didn't either, so is there anything you wanted to hit in particular?
We were chatting a little bit about before the meeting, there's just a lot to learn, there's a lot
Yes.
there. It's, great, we have more experienced delegates than myself, so I'm not worried about it, but I look forward to learning more in the future.
Is there anything that you want to, so essentially the resolutions as Lori will vote this week are set. Is there anything that you want to discuss and maybe vote a different way?
I think it's just interesting, that there's definitely stuff there that I think is valid, that it's the kind of thing that we I think are doing a service to our community members by just kind of showing that we do know and that we have that dialogue, so, but with the interest of time and priorities, it's not red hot by any means.
Okay.
Kettle Moraine's proposal to have a interim, you don't have to be a full-on member of WASB because there's some cultural or value issues there. It's an interesting thing, like, okay, are there other districts that are complaining about the same thing? Like, is that something, where do we stand with that? I don't know. I'd have to dig into it, so it's just one of those things. I did enjoy reading about it, got my mind turning, and same thing with the other, what to do about the deficit with the reimbursements for special ed. That's a big deal. Okay, yeah. I'm interested to hear what comes out of, the resolutions and what the conversation is, but,
In another way, if we ever wanted to dig in a little bit more, we have like a summary of all the resolutions that have ever been passed by WASB, and Lori and I were just looking, it's a hefty book, I mean, it's hundreds, but
328.
is that what it is, 328?
Yeah.
So, and that's something that we could look at thematically, like what has WASB been advocating for, say, over the past 10 years? Because if you're ever interested, we could always be more direct in our advocacy. Like, you know, every one of those resolutions was sponsored by a district. So if there's something like, hey, this is something that we're kind of like-minded and we might get some momentum, we could talk about submitting a resolution and advocating more directly that way too.
Yeah, I'd be good to work towards that.
I agree.
With 328 resolutions, WASB is not actively working on all of them
Yeah.
each year, so
Yep.
they prioritize in relationship to what the legislature is doing.
Right.
So for example, last year being a fiscal year with the budget, the focus was on school finance. And this year, they've got 5 that they're really focusing on. One has to do with local school board authority.
Mm-hmm.
Another one has to do with staff shortages. A third has to do with shared services and consolidation. The fourth is school safety, and then the fifth is federal mandates, especially when we get mandates that are not funded, which is a
Yeah.
huge burden on
Yeah.
every school district.
Okay, so there's a motion, there's a second. Again, an approval here will be, Lori will vote based on how they, oh,
I'm
sorry.
just gonna say, just mention on the decoupling, and then we've got opposing decoupling, we've got supporting decoupling. I'm probably more in support of decoupling, so I just want that in the record.
Okay.
That, with the vouchers.
But the motion here then would be that we support the, to not decouple, correct? That's how this is in the spreadsheet.
Right.
That's
Okay.
what's in the spreadsheet,
Yeah.
however, I would go on record of not supporting the opposition to the.
Sure.
Got it, okay, thank you. Anything else? All right, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion
Opposed.
passes. Opposed, okay, Steve opposes, motion passes 6-1. Next is the consent agenda, item number 7. Personnel minutes, board bills, donation. Did you want to make a comment on the donation?
Yeah, I did want to talk about donations. So, we so appreciate community members that donate for our kids in our school district. And there's a couple in here that I wanted to mention. So first of all, big thanks to the Somerset Community Foundation for a donation for our gardens. And we're excited. We've got some really good momentum going with gardens. So we're excited about where that will take us. I also wanted to mention there's the 3 others that are linked from the American Legion, and then the Legion Auxiliary and the Sons of the American Legion. They donated a big chunk of money, it's about $3,600 to wipe out all negative lunch balance for all kids in the district. That's really cool. It's such an impactful donation. That lifts the burden for many families that are struggling, especially through the holiday season when money can be tight. For them to do that, it's immensely meaningful, and we so appreciate. They're just great. Our Legion is super active, great partners, and really appreciate everything they've done for us and for our kids.
Is there a motion by anybody to approve these items?
I'll make a motion to approve 7A personal updates, 7B the minutes, 7C board bills, and 7D donations.
Motion by Danny, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Bruce, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. And again, another thank you to those that donated. Item number 8, general information. February 2nd will be our work session. We will aim to keep that agenda a little bit lighter so that the February 16th meeting is also a little bit shorter. We did confirm, we think we confirmed, that
Right.
February 16th is the Fine Arts Festival. So I would like to suggest that we start that meeting at 5 p.m. if at all possible. Or we could do 5:30 and we'll keep the agenda short so that we're all out of here and able to attend if you'd like to.
Should we cancel the listening session that?
Yes, we probably should.
So
Yeah.
start the meeting at 5 and with no listening session?
Is everyone okay with that, just with their personal lives? That's good.
I'll make a motion that we do that.
Okay. So there's a motion for a 5 p.m. start and a cancel of the listening session on February 16th. Do we need a second and approve it, I suppose? Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ian. Any discussion on that? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
And just a quick side note, I will be virtual for that meeting. Chief Trepchek had called and there's a very good school safety training down in the Dells. We're gonna be going down with them. It's specifically on family reunification, which is one of our areas that we've identified that we need to bolster, so it'll be great, because we'll be down there with PD. There'll actually be members of the fire department there too, so we'll actually, not only will we learn a lot, but it'll be sort of a workshop, so that'll be great. So I'll join that meeting virtually.
Is there anything else on staff who will be?
Sarah and Jesse will be going as well, because Jesse oversees the school safety in general, and Sarah is gonna be our reunification lead, so they'll be going along with me.
Good, thank you.
Item number 9, district celebrations. I would start with Steve. How about we start over here, Danny?
I don't have anything tonight.
Okay, fair enough. Bruce?
Just continue to check your calendars of what we have going on during the week at the schools. There's a lot of stuff happening even this week. At home, I just came from middle school wrestling match right before this. So just do whatever you can to check out what other kids are doing in school, and good luck to all of them.
Lori?
Many home events, make sure you buy your raffle tickets and support scholarships. The robotics invitational that was at the school district last Saturday was very successful. I think we had 3 Somerset teams there, and one of our teams took first place. It's not the first competition that they've taken first place in, so they've already qualified for the state competition and the national competition, so that's really great. And next Thursday and Friday, they are going to an invitational at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. The competition is in the atrium, so they won't be outside. Let's see, the drama department is working on the musical of The Little Mermaid. That's going to be in our Performing Arts Center the end of February. I'm looking forward to that. The dance team is competing at regionals at DC Everest this weekend. And the Somerset Elementary School groups, their parent groups, Readathon is starting on Monday the 25th and will run until the 6th. And your seniors scholarship application is due by the end of the school day on Friday, January 30th. Please make sure that your seniors are ready for that. Thank you.
Ian?
I will thank the American Legion and the Somerset Community Foundation for their donations, and Alicia for being what she is to the district. I've been saying it for years, so that was really nice to hear.
Thanks, Ian.
Corey?
Add on to the appreciation of Alicia, that's great, you do great things. Everything Dave said, I agree. And great conferences for middle school last week, so that was really nice. And just really appreciated the, had to go 2 different times with sports and kids, and we stayed, some teachers stayed till 8:30 to squeeze me in, so just a lot of great positive feedback there. And then seeing that the amazing Don Beer does so much, is doing homework help club Tuesdays and Thursdays at 3:15 in the media center, so I might have to remind my kids about that too. So.
Alicia, thanks for everything you do here. And good news about our district, I think, is just a trend that we're gonna see is continued growth in the area and a lot of opportunity to pick up enrollment in the district with people exiting Minnesota and wherever they may be coming in from, but there's a lot of positive growth in our area for the future, so it's good news.
Thanks. And I think everything's been said, other than Alicia, again, thank you for everything you've done for the district. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. And you do it all in 3 days.
Yeah.
Which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, with that said, is there a motion to adjourn into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin Statute 19.85, sub 1, paragraph C, to consider the employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of a public employee over which the board has jurisdiction?
Yes, I'll make that motion.
A motion by Bruce, is there a second?
Second.
A second by Steve. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes We are in closed session. Sorry, roll call, you're right. Steve?
Yes.
Corey?
Yes.
Ian?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Bruce?
Yes.
Danny?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Motion passes unanimous. We're in closed session at 6:30.